Hello people, Simmer Gaming here with the second part of the Missunderstood arena buffs. In this part I will be focusing on if we are using the buffs correctly, or more important, most efficient. But first I want to ask you a question. Which side do you leave your fountain from to take the jungle buffs in the beginning of an arena match? Most of you probably just answered left. Well, what if I told you it's a less optimal way and you should go right instead? If we take a look at the minimap here, you can see that if we go to the left, we'll attack the mana buff, then the damage buff, and then the attack speed buff. And if you went to the right, you would attack the attack speed buff, then the damage buff, and then the mana buff. So it's really a question about what's most efficient to take the attack speed buff first or the mana buff first. The mana buff is usually given to a mage, while the damage buff is usually given to any role, well, any role besides Guardian, and the attack speed buff is usually given to an assassin or a hunter. That seems right? That's how it's always been. Well, let's crack up the case and see how it really is. I ran a test on both the mana route and the attack speed route to see which one is the fastest, and I used a mage and a hunter to give an example of which would be fastest. I chose the gods Artemis and Ra for this. Both of them have the most offensive 3rd tier boots and have 1 level in each of their 3 abilities. Well, let's start with the mana route, shall we? All the buff camps have a total of 880 health, and for this example Artemis have 81 attack and attacks 0.99 times a second. This translates to it will take her 10.97 seconds to kill it without any abilities, and it will take her 10.86 attacks. Artemis' first ability doesn't deal damage to minions, so therefore it deals 0. Artemis' second ability gives 40% extra attack speed for 3 seconds. I calculate this into she will deal 96.228 additional damage and attack 1.188 times more, which after she used this ability would leave the total amount of time she needed to finish the mob camp at 9.77. Artemis' third ability deals 112 damage, putting the buff camp at 671 health, which means it would take her 8.38 seconds to clear the rest with Barter's attacks, since none of her abilities have a cooldown less than this. So Artemis achieved the mana buff and gained the 10% cooldown reduction. However, as I just mentioned, most of her abilities have a high cooldown and therefore is not affected by the 10% cooldown reduction, and the total amount of time it took for her to clear the buff is therefore not changed. So that puts Artemis' time cleared to all 3 buff camps at 25.14 seconds. Next up we have Ra. Ra has an attack damage at 84 and has an attack speed of 0.91 attacks per second, which puts his time clearing a buff by auto attacks alone at 20.15, and he had to deal 18.33 attacks. Ra's first ability deals 126.5 damage to the buff camp, leaving it at 753.5, which thereby he would take 7.25 seconds to clear the buff camp. Ra then uses his second ability that deals 73.5 damage, which leaves the creature at 680 health, and thereby it would take Ra 15.57 seconds to kill the creature. Ra then uses his third ability, which deals 174 damage to the creature, which leaves it at 579.5, and thereby it would take Ra 13.27 seconds to clear the buff. However, Ra's first ability only has a 10-second cooldown, which means he can use it twice during this fight. During these 10 seconds, Ra has attacked the creature, and the creature is therefore at 109.34 health. His first ability therefore once again deals 126.5 damage, which puts the creature into negatives and therefore it's dead. Ra thereby took 10 seconds to clear the mana buff. After casting all of his spells once and attacking for 9 seconds, so that his first ability is up once again, the creature is at 162.09 health. Ra then once again uses his first ability, which deals 126.5, leaving the creature at 35.59 health, and Ra has to attack it for 0.81 seconds more, putting the total time to clear the second buff at 9.81. This will put Ra's total clear time of the mana root at 29.62, which means Artemis cleared the mana buff root in 4.5 seconds faster than Ra. Now let's test the attack speed root. We know from the previous root that it takes Artemis 8.38 seconds to clear the first buff without any buffs to help her. Artemis now has the attack speed buffs, which grant her 50% additional attack speed and 15 extra attack damage on her basic attacks. Artemis' second ability gives her 40% extra attack speed for 3 seconds, which would give her 1.37 additional attacks, which would translate into 110.66 additional damage and leave the creature at 7.04 seconds away from death. Artemis' third ability hasn't changed, and therefore it still deals 112, which leaves the buff camp at 657.31, and therefore it has 6.01 seconds to live. Artemis can therefore clear the attack speed buff camp root in 20.4 seconds. We know from the mana root that Ra takes 10 seconds to clear the first buff camp without any buffs to assist him. After gaining the attack speed buff, Ra now have 51 damage per attack and attacks 1.05 times a second, which means that he will take 16.49 seconds to kill a buff camp with only auto attacks. After Ra uses all of his abilities once, he puts the creature at 579.5 health, which means it would take him 10.86 seconds to kill it with auto attacks. But Ra's first ability only has a 10-second cooldown, and therefore he can use it twice. For the past 10 seconds, Ra has been attacking the buff camp, which has put the buff camp at 62.5. Ra's first ability then once again deals 176.5 damage, which puts the creature into the negatives and therefore kills it. Ra thereby takes 10 seconds to kill a buff camp with the attack speed buff. Ra thereby uses 30 seconds to clear all 3 buff camps, and Artemis is once again the winner. Artemis, which was the faster one during the mana route, is also the fastest one during the attack route, and she's even faster during the attack speed route. Therefore, you should start out with the attack speed route, give the attack speed buff to your hunter, and let them do the damage for you instead of your mage. Thank you for watching part 2, I hope you enjoyed, and I also hope you'll turn in to part 3, where I'll be talking about what will happen or what will change if people were to start going to the right instead of the left.